Hi, so in video 1084 I introduced you to this thing. It's a timing belt and we turned it inside out, cut it in strips and made gears out of it, and we used that gearing system in 1089 to make a hubless bike. Now I found that these are more or less £7 actually if you buy them off of eBay, and they're brand new, but my friends down at Canterbury Automotive changed these out a lot and they've given me, I don't know, about half a dozen or so. It's just awesomely kind of them because it enables me to play around with them. Now in the hubless bike, somebody said surely that's not all you're going to do with that, and of course it's not all I'm going to do with it. I'm interested in a particular set of gears called Planetary gears. Now the reason I'm interested in them is because they basically take high speed low torque and transfer it into low speed high torque, and of course there's a ton of applications for that. One of the things would be a hub motor for running an electric vehicle. Another one would be using it in the rim of a vertical turbine so that you could actually get energy delivered even though the wind speed was low. Those are the kind of things that I'm interested in, and those are the kind of things that are particularly suitable for planetary gear sets. Now, planetary gear set is something you're going to find in a power drill or a winch, but they're always really small. Biggest I've seen is about that big, mostly in drills are about that big. You want a large set of planetary gears, you're looking at spending a fortune unless you can come up with another way of doing it. So I've been thinking about that, and what I've come up with is this. I've taken, a bicycle wheel, of course, because we did the bike, why not a bicycle wheel? This bicycle wheel actually is quite thick, quite sturdy, and has a flat spot on the inside of the rim. So I stripped out the spokes, took off the tyre, and glued some of this stuff on the inside. So that's actually glued on with contact adhesive, and it's really firm. That gives me what's called a ring gear. That's one of the main bits of a planetary gear system that's actually really hard to get. Now, is a ring gear that size? That's going to cost you a fortune. Now, this will last, and we'll talk about these things later on in the video. But if you're worried about it, you could use this as a mould for casting. But there is my planetary gear ring gear. Now in planetary gears, what you have is a central gear and 3 other gears inside of that ring gear. So for the central gear, what I chose was this thing. Well, this is a caster wheel. It's a fixed caster wheel, so it has no bearings on it. It's got a hole in the centre, and you screw it onto something and it makes a caster wheel. I took that, trimmed it down, and again, some of this wrapped around the edge and made this thing. This is my central gear. Again, it's glued on with contact adhesive. I trimmed that down in the lathe actually until it exactly fitted the number of teeth, and that's my central gear. Now the other thing that I wanted was a large set of the planet gears, and for that I used this. It's another caster, but these casters are actually very cool. In the centre of them they have bearings. So these plastic caps fit over the bearings, it screws down, firmly fixes that, and that's still able to spin. Same technique, wrap it with some of this stuff and you will get these things. So these are my planet gears. So there's my sun gear, planet gear, ring gear. Now let me show you how they fit together. Okay, so there's my ring gear, sun gear goes in the centre, and the planet gears actually just go around the edge at 120 degrees. There we go. That is a sun and planet gear system. Now what's really cool about these is you hold one set firm and move the other. So there's one fixed gear set, the planet is fixed, the sun's fixed, or the ring is fixed. There's one driven gear, and there's one drive gear. So let's say, for instance, we fix the ring gear. So we hold that and we fix that down. But we drive the central sun gear here. Then as we turn that, the planets move. So they're the driven gear. Now we often find there's a piece of steel going across there, which is called the carrier. That carrier comes out, and that's your output shaft. Equally, we can hold the sun gear and turn the ring, and again the planets will move. Or we can fix the planets, which is what we're going to do, and turn the sun, and the ring will move. Okay, so now we've got the planets fixed. If we move the ring gear, you'll notice the sun moves. And if we move the sun gear, equally, it's the ring that moves. Now, the gear ratio is the number of teeth here and the number of teeth there. If you're actually using the planets, then you add those two teeth together to give you the gears teeth of the planets combined and use that as the gear ratio. But I intend on having it like this. And the main reason is if I have a motor turning here at high speed and low torque, the gearing is crazy actually. It's like 20 to 1 in this small package. It will turn this wheel slowly but with high torque. So clearly brilliant for a motor drive. Equally, if I've got a vertical wind turbine attached to this ring, if I have a vertical wind turbine here and the wind turns that, then it's going to turn that again with high torque using low torque, high speed at the centre. So fitting a turbine to the centre here or using this to drive a wheel with the motor is a brilliant use for planetary gear sets. Okay, so this is my initial thought about what to use this setup for. So we put the tyre back on and the motor would go here and we turn that motor and the motor obviously is turning at high speed and it turns it into torque and low speed at the wheel. Now clearly if you're using it for a turbine you wouldn't have this big old rubber tyre on it, you just have a bundle of magnets on there. Okay, a word or two about this actual material actually, because in the previous videos there's been quite a few comments. Now this stuff, they say it's rubber, it isn't actually, it's plastic. And very often there's a fibre in there and sometimes there's steel in there, but it's plastic and cloth. And it's meant to last 5 years of constant use in your car. So I don't think wear is going to be a particular issue if it's new. Remember the £7 new. So certainly it's going to wear and last under a lot of strain because this is being driven by your engine. The other thing people have said is, what about the coefficient of friction? Well, of course, the coefficient of friction of steel is massive. That's why train wheels are made of steel. Steel on steel has a very high coefficient of friction, especially rolling friction. This, it's going to be probably not much different, to be honest. But then if you're worried about friction, do the same thing they do with steel. Put some lubrication in there, because we could spray some PTFE or some moly or some oil in there and we'll probably get pretty much the same thing. So wear and friction aren't, I think, going to be particular issues with this. I think the most telling issue actually is the bond. It's being able to glue it to a surface. So this here obviously is this plastic material glued to a bit of aluminium, and I just use Evo stick contact adhesive. I've done the same thing here, here and here, and here I've used super glue, which I'm a bit worried about, to be honest. So I'm not sure about the glues at the moment or the strength of that bond, and I think that bond is the real issue. I don't think the material that's being used in terms of its friction, in terms of wear, is an issue particularly at all. If you're worried about plastic gears, incidentally, they're just everywhere these days. Of course, every printer is stuffed full of nylon gears. If you have a look at the inside, the gearbox of one of these things, you'll find the central drive gear is a nylon gear stuck on the motor. I took a mobility scooter apart recently. Guess what? The drive gear was plastic gearing. They're used in window wiper motors. If you take those apart, you'll find that the worm is very often metal, but the actual gear itself is a big old plastic gear. So these days, these plastics, they really last. It's mentioned you could use these as pattern parts to cast it once you'd worked everything out, because getting these worked out is a little bit of a pain. The other thing is you have to trim the wheels or expand the wheels that you use in order to fit exactly the right number of teeth, and that's a trial and error process. Anyway, I thought I'd share those ideas with you. This is certainly where I'm going with it. I hope it was of interest, and thank you very much for watching.